Yeah, I was excited to play the media stuff, but apparently, I don't know, it's not recording. Got to figure this out. And
Hmm.
all these drops, all these people cheering, people laughing, people crying, people clapping.
Yeah, well, it's like the sitcom effect when they play like Friends episodes without the laugh track. It's really not that funny.
Yeah, those laugh tracks are really carrying the team.
Yeah, so well, we never use laugh tracks, but maybe, hopefully, we were funny without them. Imagine just how funny we would be with them.
It would be a whole new level of funny.
Yeah, it tells people when to laugh.
I mean, after everything Teddy said, he would play the laugh track.
Yeah, he would abuse that button. I have a cold open from Teddy. Obviously, he's not here that he hasn't been able to spew, but it was one of the funniest stories I've ever heard in my life. He was driving, because I guess at work, he drives on the left side of the road, or like wherever his station is, with like those work vehicles or whatnot. And I guess he got so used to that he was like, I think he was in Montauk, and where like the road goes into like a single lane on each side, and he was driving on the wrong side of the road, and a guy was beeping at him, and Teddy's like fighting back with him. He's like, "What the fuck you beeping at me for?" Yeah, yeah. It's like, and then like the guy wouldn't let up. He's yelling at Teddy. Teddy's going back at him because like even if you're in the wrong in a road rage incident, I understand Teddy. Like you still gotta act like you're right.
Oh,
You
yeah, at
can't
that
just
point, nobody wants to hear logic.
you can't let someone alpha you on the road. But at this point, Teddy thinks he's doing nothing wrong. But he's just driving on the left side of the road like he's in London. And he said he realized like 20 minutes later, he's like, "Oh, I was in the wrong there. I was on the wrong side of the road."
Honestly, I've almost been fooled by that when the lanes become just two lanes going opposite directions. Sometimes I think that it's two lanes going one direction, it's just a one way. I've never actually gone through with it, but I've dabbled. I've drifted. I've crossed that line, but I quickly went back.
I've been doing the thing now where, well, I think I've said this before, but it's one of my favorite things to do is when someone like zooms by me as a dick. I love when I pull up to the same red light as them. It's so fucking satisfying.
Yeah, you look over and you just mean mug them. You know what's the worst is when you fuck up and then you can feel them looking over at you when they pass you, and you just try to continue on like you were driving like nothing happened.
Oh yeah, it's the worst.
That happened to me
Admit
the other day.
you can't, but like I said before, you can't admit any wrongdoing on the road. You have to just own that shit.
No, yeah, you really do. Until we build walkable cities, it's just the fucking wild, wild west out there. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Nerd Soup Podcast. I am Bo Oliver, joined here today with Aaron, the Nerd Soup Monkey, and we're back to talk about the world of Hollywood. We're mostly going to be focusing on some box office stuff and some new images from Hayao Miyazaki's latest movie, probably his last movie, but hopefully he saved the last for best. And of course, you can listen to this podcast wherever you get your podcasts or right here on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on social medias, on X at Nerd Soup
Don't
Monkey,
don't
Bose.
don't do that.
Also on Threads, where I don't know how you'd link Threads. I guess it's our Instagram usernames, which are also at Bosoup, at NerdSoupMonkey, and at NerdSoup.
Threads is over with.
We're also on
It's
Meta.
Don't call it X. It's Twitter.
If it's named X, I'm a call it. Just kidding. That's never going to catch on. You know what keeps throwing me off? Sometimes, I forget what it was, where I didn't realize that I had Twitter open because it was just the X. I was like, damn, I need to go to Twitter. I thought I had that browser open, but that just says X. Oh, wait, that's Twitter.
Yeah, it's annoying, but I don't think anyone actually calls it X.
It's like a child's idea of building a company. Like, Mom, I'm going to build this really cool company and I'm going to just call it X. Like, oh, that's great, sweetie. Now go clean the shit off of your sneaker. Dumb child. All right, well, let's just get into some stories. How about that? We shit on Teddy, shit on Elon. Anybody else we got to shit on?
Michael Orr's not adoptive parents.
Oh my God, what a scandal.
I know.
That was such an awesome TNT TBS movie, too. Can't tell you how many times I've watched that.
The Blind Side
Yeah,
got Sandra Bullock an Oscar.
it was a very uplifting story.
Hollywood, they're always muddling everything up. But yeah, that sucks.
No, yeah, that's the third person we got to shit on. Yeah, if that is true, what a terrible thing to do to a kid. Especially when you compare how much that movie made with his NFL salary. Because I'm sure he made a decent amount of money, but being an offensive lineman, not even being one of the better offensive linemen, he was good. But I imagine that family made a shit ton off of the Blindside royalties. And also probably I think that woman's a motivational speaker, so she's been living off of that whole thing for many years.
Well, they were already rich too, right? Like, didn't like in the movie, the dad owns like mad Taco Bells.
Yeah, yeah, no, they were caked up. Taco Bell
Imagine
money.
if my family owns, yeah, my family was of the Bells. Oh my God, I don't think I'd be alive today.
Well, that has potential to be a good movie. The follow up, the sequel is going to be crazy. Talk about blindsided.
You could keep the same title.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, The Blind Side too. Sandra Bullock comes back, gets another Oscar. That would be so funny. All right, Barbie. Barbie's on track to become the highest grossing domestic film of the year, which is not surprising, seeing as it's been number one at the box office for about 4 weeks now since it's open.
Where
But
was the Meg 2 when I needed him?
yeah, the Meg 2 has underperformed. Well, actually, at the worldwide box office, it hasn't done so badly. So the Meg 3 is definitely on the way. But, Barbie had the $155 million opening domestically, which was, I'm pretty sure, the biggest domestic opening of the year. Worldwide, it's just about to reach the $1.2 billion mark. So worldwide box office, it's looking like it's also going to be the highest grossing film of the year, surpassing the Super Mario Brothers movie. What's interesting is that Barbie passed the $500 million domestic mark in its third week, while the Super Mario Brothers movie needed more than 5 weeks to reach 500 million.
No, yeah, it's made a lot of money. It's keeping go. It's keeping on going. A constant reminder. I mean, when you look at it from just how it's like the legs it has, I mean, it's still making, into the 8-figure mark for this weekend. What is this? It's fourth or fifth weekend?
This is the fourth weekend. Yes.
I mean, that's pretty impressive, especially domestically. I mean, I still see people like in the theater dressed in pink too. Like people are still going out to see this movie, so I wonder what it'll end up with. I mean, Oppenheimer seems to have not really lost steam though, but it kind of seems like it's going to maybe topple. I think it'll cross 700. I mean, some people were speculating it could get close to a billion. I don't know if it will get that far, but as long as it has those IMAX screens, it's possible. But this movie can end up like 1.5, which is pretty insane when you think about it, especially when you look at the other types of movies that are in that upper echelon of box office numbers.
Yeah, there are certain markets that Oppenheimer still hasn't opened in yet, right? I'm pretty sure they still have China and South Korea.
It's definitely going to get a little boost there.
Well, Oppenheimer being at, I mean, I guess we can just go into US weekend box office after this, but Oppenheimer's worldwide total being 650 million right now, or just a touch shy of 650 million is incredible. It just, the more that it adds, it becomes an even bigger win, but it already is such a success. If it does top out in the 800, 900 million range, I mean, it's one of the biggest box office surprises I think ever. Seeing this number, like if this was the final gross 650, that would be super impressive. But for a movie that's about a guy, it's kind of a war movie, but it's not. It's just a guy and his scientist buddies and a lot of politicking, a lot of talking. And the fact that it almost makes $1 billion is remarkable.
And yeah, for both of these movies, I mean, I don't know what the projections were. I think we kind of knew that these movies would make money, turn a profit, but not to this extent.
Yeah, and I think there was some skepticism with Oppenheimer that coming off a Tenet, maybe this isn't going to be as big of a box office win as Nolan is used to. Obviously, Tenet, we all know what happened there. So I think there is definitely an element of surprise of just how much it's made. Yeah, with Barbie, like you said, it could top out at 1.5 billion, which would be massive. I think that's not quite Fast 7, but, it's putting up Fast and Furious numbers, putting up Marvel numbers. And I don't know if this is going to be like, now everybody's saying, oh, Barbie and Oppenheimer, they saved the box office. It was the fourth highest grossing industry weekend of all time in North America when both movies came out. They both made a total of 302 million. It's looking really dry for the rest of the summer. Blue Beetle is going to be that's the thing. We're talking all this box office success. Blue Beetle is going to be a bomb like we've never seen before. The projections for that are like 15 million opening weekend domestically.
Yeah, that's going to be rough. I kind of like with Haunted Mansion, it is kind of funny, but like sometimes you feel bad because like obviously, especially with everything going on with the strikes and everything, it's hard to feel bad for studios. But I mean, the people who worked on these movies, the people who acted in them, who wrote them, it's going to be, you see how sometimes some of these flops can affect them and have that. It's hard to kind of shake that from your resume.
Definitely. And Zolo Maraduena, who's playing the lead in Blue Beetle, he was also Miguel in Cobra Kai, or he still is Miguel in Cobra Kai. I love him as a young actor. I think that he's got a lot of charming qualities to him. He's a fun presence on screen. So if this is something that tanks his career, I will definitely be very upset. And they recently put out the video of him when he found out that he got the role and how excited he was. I'll tell you what, man, we've talked about it on this podcast since we've been doing it. The old phrase superhero fatigue, it's starting. And some people want to say, no, it's not superhero fatigue, it's just Marvel fatigue. I'm here to tell you right now it's setting in. Because a movie like Blue Beetle comes out 5 years ago, it's at least making $50 million its opening weekend domestically. But people are just, it's become like a parody. It's a Blue Beetle and Yellow Cockroach and Mighty Mouse and the Amazing Tree Man. People, I do think people are starting to get tired of it.
You didn't like Amazing Tree Man?
I mean, I didn't like the fact that he was also smoking trees because that's like cannibalism. Everybody's got to be a pothead these days. I'm with Gen Z on that. That people should stop doing drugs.
Yeah, how about Mary and Pip smoking that long bottom leaf in front of the Ents? That's fucked up.
That was fucked up.
I never thought of that like that until just now.
That is like eating chicken in front of your pet chicken or your friend chicken. They're not pets. Big trees are independent.
Wasn't that, Social Network? Andrew Garfield pet chicken, a chicken nugget?
Yeah. He didn't know that it was actual chicken. He thought it was fake. Which
that was
fair.
an old rumor. What else comes? Strays comes out next weekend. What makes more, Strays or Blue Beetle?
Ooh, talk about a fucking follow-up bet. That's way tougher to call than Oppenheimer Barbie.
Yeah, why is nobody talking about Strays Blue Beetle? That should be... People wanted the next Barbenheimer. They're right in front of us.
You know what? I'm going to say Blue Beetle still makes more. I can't stand movies like Strays. Things for children that are, raunchy. It's just like they're not for children, but, like the whole, it's just a fun story about, dogs, but they curse.
Like Sausage Party. I thought that was going to be the greatest movie of all time.
Well, I mean, the people behind it I'm a fan of. So, yeah, I was a little disappointed by Sausage Party.
I'll never forget. I went to go see that movie with my friend. I had, you know how hard it is to hold the popcorn and soda at the same time? I've gotten better at it throughout the years. It's kind of a skill now. But back in those days, I was still a novice. I go to open the door for the movie, the theater, and I dropped them. I dropped my soda everywhere.
Oh, man. You're a dropper, huh?
I drop things, yeah. If I eat popcorn or like chips, like no matter where I am, but mostly at home watching TV or watching a movie, it's going all over the place. I just can't help it.
When you're at home. It's fine when you're at home, but in public, I mean, keep your shit together, man.
No, at the theater, when the lights come on, when the movie's over, it's a mess. I try to stay clean, but it's dark. Remember when I think it was when we saw was it the Joker at Alamo? And I was eating the chips and queso, and when the movie came on, I just had queso all over my shirt.
Well, that's difficult because those meals are like legit meals, and you're in the dark. It's tough. Sometimes you can get shit all over yourself.
Yeah, I'm just a slob.
Well, I'm going to jinx myself, but I have become an expert at holding multiple things at once while getting the ticket to be scanned. I do. I'll tell you what, man. I miss the idea of no assigned seating. You got to get there. You got to beat the crowd. First come, first served. Midnight premieres. I miss the rush.
You say that until it affects you where you can't get a seat or you get a shitty seat.
But that's the thing. I never got a shitty seat. I was another expert at that. I was like fucking Marshawn Lynch tossing children out of the way. Old ladies. My greatest grab was Force Awakens. Oh, opening night, ask Manny and Marissa. I got us right in the center.
Yeah, but then you got to put the coats.
Yeah, it's fun. It feels it's part of the movie experience. Now it's just everybody strolls in and just sits down. And there's still a buzz for the big movies, but I like the buzz. I like the commotion.
But then you're waiting on, remember when we saw Man of Steel? We were just waiting on line for a half hour.
Yeah, it's fun. You make friends in the line. You crack jokes. You steal your friends' jokes. I'll never forget. I was online for Force Awakens, and I said, MCU is really big at the time. So I was like, I can't wait for Mace Windu to come out during an end credit scene. And the guy next to us, belly laughing. Thought it was the funniest fucking thing he ever heard in his life.
Who stole your Superman joke? It was Teddy, right?
Yeah, it was fucking Teddy.
That's so fucking funny. We're just driving to the theater. It's like, oh, I hope we get seats. And you're in the back, and I think I'm the, or
No, I
Teddy
said it
heard
to
you.
you. No, I just said
Yeah.
it to you. You didn't even laugh. That's the craziest part about it. That you
You're
didn't
like, oh,
laugh
no.
at my joke.
You're like, oh, no, I'm friends with Superman. He left us tickets.
And then you used it against me. Teddy and Elena, just ever since then, you've been the favorite friend. That's fucked up. You're living a
Got the whole
lie.
crew laughing. Shout out to Elena, by the way. She did a good job on the old hairdo.
Elena's dependable, man. She's nothing like Teddy. Guess
Yeah,
they
no,
could've.
that's why I wanted to deal with her directly, but Teddy actually ended up being
You try to talk to my wife?
dude, he's when she was doing my hair, he was on PlayStation playing with our other friends. He's like, yeah, my wife's just massaging Aaron's head right now.
That's so funny, man.
I've been getting a lot of Pony Boy, which I forgot about the Outsiders. And then I got Happy Gilmore's caddy, because he wasn't really a bleached hair guy. He was just a blonde kid.
Yeah, Pony Boy, I can see.
Then I got someone. So it's like someone I'm acquaintance, but they don't like obviously know me, or otherwise they wouldn't say this to me. But they're like, "Oh, you look more like it makes you look very Jewish," which I didn't get. I don't know, but I'm like, "Oh, but like thank you," but you could tell like they didn't mean it or know me. So that was a fun one.
To me, you kind of look like that unemployed friend who's like always in between jobs, but is always trying to get you like to give them money for some scam that they've been scammed by. Mid-level marketing guy.
No, yeah, because it's a very fine line of like like Robert Pattinson and Good Time. Like the blonde hair makes it like, and his whole get up, like he's kind of sleazy. Like he'll sell like eighth grader weed.
Yeah, no, that's the vibe that he definitely gives off.
So like depending on what I wear or like how I'm put together, if I'm like disheveled, just wearing like a big t-shirt and like sweatpants, and I like go to leave the house to get like groceries or get food, I'm like, I look like I'm selling drugs to underage kids at the schoolyard.
Yeah, and you've got
but
a
if I'm
gig
put
later.
but if I'm like put together, then it's like, oh, he's just like that's the style. So I got to be conscious of that.
Yeah, you're gonna have somebody try and get you to join their band.
Yeah,
And they
like I
always
could
have
be in
non-paying gigs.
like a garage band that like we're gonna make it one day. It really depends environment. Like on the beach, I'm like, yeah, this guy can probably rip some waves. Kind of another weird. Like I saw a picture of me when I had brown hair, and like it looked weird. And it's only been a week.
Yeah, so I guess we could do Stray's Blue Beetle. We could just like have you dye your hair a different color.
No, I'm taking Blue Beetle. I get,
You didn't give me anything. You were confident in Oppenheimer. Don't.
No, but I feel like I want to go back and listen to that because I have got like, I don't know what I was thinking. But I think because of the tattoo thing, like it's like when you make a bet against the favorite, like the odds, like obviously the hair is not a big deal as tattoo. So the stakes for you were a little bit higher, but you also had the favorite.
Oh, now I had the favorite. I don't think we established what we were gonna do after the bet though. So it's not like I didn't consciously set the stakes to be okay. Let's just move on to box office.
Yeah, so I got
It's all
Blue Beetle.
history.
You have Strays. If I lose, I'll dye my hair blue. If you lose, you gotta get a Stray and keep it.
Oh no, how terrible. All right, yeah, weekend box office, like we said, Barbie, number 1, fourth weekend, made 33 million. Total gross is 526. So yeah, cross over that $500 million mark. And worldwide, like we said, it's just under 1.2 billion. So it joins the $1 billion club and looks like it's could be headed for some of those other movies on that list. I don't know where its placement is right now, but there has been some discourse. Is Barbie the best movie to ever gross $1 billion? I don't believe so.
No, I mean I have it up right now. Right now it's 25 behind Iron Man 3. If it gets up to like 1.5 in that range, it can crack top 10. Avengers is number 10 at 1.5 billion.
It's amazing how that first Avengers was considered such a massive success and so many movies after it have passed it. It's still a very impressive 1.5, but it's just funny looking back now how far we've come.
The Lion King making 1.6. But if it gets that range, the movies that it beats out, like Top Gun, Frozen 2, Avengers, Age of Ultron, Black Panther, Deathly Hollow, Super Mario Brothers, Last Jedi, that's a fucking mass. Those movies are massively successful.
Right,
Big
and
franchises.
this idea too, I mean, people always have to be snobs about shit. Like, there's been no other good movies to gross $1 billion. Some of them have been bad, but others have.
Uh,
I think there's quite a few good movies to gross $1 billion, starting with the two highest.
I mean, the fucking Return of the King,
Return of the King, both Avatars. I
Deathly
mean,
Hollows. I mean,
we all
Part
hate
2,
MCU now, but Infinity War, Endgame, Iron Man 3. I like Iron Man 3. Black Panther.
The Dark Knight.
Dark
Ever hear of it? Both Avatars, Infinity
Minions.
War, Minions.
All right, fuck those Minions. Yeah, number 2 for its fourth weekend as well, since it came out. I don't know if you guys heard about this. Oppenheimer and Barbie came out the same day. Oppenheimer was number 2 with another 18 million. That domestic total is 264, and worldwide it's a touch under 650 million. Number 3 was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Came in with 15 million. Domestic total is about 72. Worldwide, it's a touch under 100 million. So it's unfortunate that that movie is coming out so early on streaming, because I felt like it could have done a really good job of just building and building its box office total throughout August and into September. But I think it comes out early September. We'll see where it lands, but it's a movie I really enjoyed, and I wanted it to make more money so more movies could be made like it. Number 4, Meg 2, The Trench, came in with 12.7 million domestically. That's up to 54 worldwide. So not bad, 256 off of a $130 million budget. As I said, that's a franchise that's going to continue. Ben Wheatley,
What country is going out for Meg 2?
I'm sure it was huge in China.
Oh yeah, 53 million in China.
Yeah,
Opening.
because it's got a few Chinese actors, and it's also set in China, which that doesn't always work. That doesn't always translate, but I guess for the Meg franchise, it did. And Jason Statham, I wish that guy made better movies, because I love him. I love that his acting range is just grumpy and happy. He's got nothing in between.
Is he big in China?
It feels right. Like Jason Statham's big in China. That they
I
love.
like that.
Yeah.
Like Hasselhoff being huge in Germany. That's sick.
Right. When certain countries just take to certain actors. Like there was that what's his face? Angel Eyes and The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Lee Van Cleef. They used to love him in France because he was so weird looking.
Hell yeah. I want to be big. We should get like big in I don't know.
It's all typical for us. United States, UK.
Slovenia.
Slovenia.
What if we were like massive in Slovenia?
All of a sudden Luca finds out who we are, become boys with Luca. If he lets me holler at his mom.
Would you ruin our bond, our budding friendship with Luca?
I mean, sure I would let him call me Bo. He doesn't have to call me Dad right away.
No, but he's like, he'd be pissed about it. And then the friendship's over.
No, at first, but then I'm a really nice guy and I play catch with him.
Yeah, but do you really want a stepson that can fucking cross you up?
Oh, are you kidding me? I'd have a tear coming on my eye just thinking about my son being able to.
He'll never respect you.
It doesn't matter. He'll respect me as a man, not as a basketball player.
What's the difference?
Yeah, I guess. Well, I left that life behind a long time ago. Also, when I show him my post arsenal, and he's like, "You can't beat me, but you can help me become better."
Yeah, well, Luka never dropped 11 off the bench against Longwood in the playoffs. Well, you've arguably had a more successful playoff career than he has.
Guy misses the playoffs once. I just want to say for the record, like, stop with the Trae Young Luka shit. Stop. Just people are embarrassing themselves when they try and say Trae Young's better.
But like
we all see them.
Like being a crazy sports fan, like if I was a Hawks fan, I would hold on to that narrative as long as I could.
Oh, Trey's better than Steph if I'm a Hawks fan. Yeah, Steph had all those easy looks. He's playing with Hall of Famers.
I'm fully convinced myself that Zach Wilson, when Aaron Rodgers retires, is going to take the mantle.
The delusion of a Jet fan is so fascinating, because not only is it like, you guys have already thought ahead to after the 2 Super Bowls Rodgers is going to win you.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, after that Super Bowl experience, just seeing an all-time great go through that twice, of course Zach Wilson's going to pick up some of that. Of course.
You never learned about osmosis?
Well, I hope it all works out for you guys, because you and Nash have a lot riding on that when it comes to your mental health. Because I mean, Nash has always been delusional, but you fully bought back in.
So my friends were setting up a trip to go to man, was it DR? I think it was DR. Um and the trip was going to be Super Bowl weekend. And I'm like, well, like we're going to be there for the Super Bowl, and they're like, yeah. I'm like, well, but like what if if the Jets make it? Like I don't want to I don't want to be anywhere. Like I want to be home.
Yeah, I
And that
mean,
was
the
it.
easy joke is you should be fine, book the trip. But
No, like it's just, but the chance of that happening, like being away during the Super Bowl, even though I'd be able to watch it there, like it wouldn't be the same. I need to be either alone or like with a carefully
are the Chiefs taking the year off?
put together group.
The Chiefs aren't playing this year, right? And the Bengals, they're not playing either.
I mean, the Chiefs aren't going to win it again, are they?
I mean, you guys need to, if you guys make the playoffs, it's a crapshoot, right? That's what they say. So I didn't realize how tough that schedule was. Your first 7 weeks is a fucking bloodbath.
No, I played the win-loss game with the schedule already, and we're looking pretty good.
Moving on to number 5, The Last Voyage of the Demeter. This is a movie that's really captured the imaginations of people on the internet. Came in at number 5 with 6.5 million. Total gross domestically is 6.5. Just came out, so worldwide is also 6.5. People are having fun with this movie because apparently it's about Dracula haunting a ship, a cargo ship.
Oh, that's the Dracula meme. I've been seeing that. I didn't know what it was from.
Yeah, that's where the old Dracula meme comes from. It's got decent reviews. I think it's at about 40. Not decent, but not horrible. I think it's in the 40s on Rotten Tomatoes.
Variety just said that Margot Robbie will make blank from Barbie. How much you think?
50 million?
Yeah, you saw the tweet?
No.
Yeah, 50 million.
That's always the good guess when it comes to. I'm sure she had some box office points.
Yeah, I would assume so.
It was probably nothing crazy, but the movie made so much, so then it results in 50 million. Because she was paid, I think, 15 total. They were both paid 15 million, her and Ryan Gosling. Yeah, it's not bad, right? Get that bag, girl. She's awesome. I went to rewatch Barbie with, I took my mom to see it. She loved it. And the second time around, I was really more impressed with Margot Robbie more so than anybody else. I mean, Ryan Gosling's hilarious, but she's really great.
Yeah, 50 million in salary and box office bonuses.
Not bad. It's a huge win, man. She's, she's become like, I mean, she's been famous for a little while now, but after this is, super stardom. She's already got a decent filmography. She's made some good movies, has some iconic performances. So
hopefully this like payday will be like, maybe I don't have to do a Marvel.
Yeah, it looks like she still wants to do. I mean, dude, I loved Birds of Prey. I thought she did a great job putting that team together and made a really, really fun movie. That's a movie that I think is very rewatchable. I'm always going back and throwing that on because it's just fun. And I like her as Harley Quinn. I think she's really goofy. She would make a great villain if they ever actually like put her up against one of these heroes.
She was rumored to be Sue Storm, but it looks like that's going to Vanessa Kirby, which...
Oh, there's no way she's going to do that shit.
Vanessa Kirby?
No, Margot Robbie. And when I heard all that they wanted Adam Driver and Margot Robbie and John Wayne resurrected, like, come on, yo. They would be stupid. I mean, that train, if I'm an actor like a Margot Robbie, I'm running when it comes to that superhero shit. Even with Harley Quinn, like, at this point, just go do your own thing. Like, you've given that genre enough. It seems like we've hit the peak. We can look back and see how successful it was. We could still look back. We could still see it, but I think we're headed in that other direction. We're heading on the downslope.
Was that Pirates of the Caribbean movie?
I don't think it's in development anymore. Yeah, that was supposed to be her as the lead, right? Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
No, her only upcoming is Margot Robbie's Ocean's 11 film.
Oh, right. I think that was also supposed to be with Ryan Gosling.
I thought Ocean's 8 was pretty good.
I thought it was terrible.
I just like those kind of movies. I mean, it's not Ocean's 11
or 12.
I just like heists. I always like when they reveal.
There was no conflict.
So sometimes you just gotta make the score and get out of there. What was it again? Anne Hathaway, the necklace, but then she was working with them. Yeah, maybe I don't remember that movie.
Yeah, very memorable. Ocean's 8. All right, guys, before we get to the second half of this podcast, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Factor. Part of becoming an adult is coming to the realization that you're going to have to feed yourself 3 times a day, which can be difficult if you have a busy schedule. Work, taking care of kids or pets, life can be hectic at times, and that's where Factor comes into play. Factor is America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. It can help you fuel up fast with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and stay on track with your healthy lifestyle. You can choose from over 34 weekly flavor-packed, dietitian-approved meals ready to eat in 2 minutes, or you can level up with Gourmet Plus options, prepared to perfection by chefs and ready to eat in record time. Treat yourself to upscale meals with premium ingredients like broccolini, leeks, truffle, butter, and asparagus. Too busy running around during the day to think about lunch? Keep your energy up with Lunch to Go. Effortless, wholesome meals like grain bowls and salad toppers that are ready to eat when you're on the go. No microwave required. You can round out your meal and replenish your snack supply with an assortment of 45+ add-ons, including breakfast items like our delicious apple cinnamon pancakes, bacon and cheddar egg bites, and potato, bacon, and egg breakfast skillet. Or for an easy wellness boost, try refreshing beverage options like cold-pressed juices, shakes, and smoothies. So before summer ends, get Factor and enjoy eating well without the hassle. Simply choose your meals and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered right to your door, ready in 2 minutes, no prep, no mess. Head on over to factormeals.com/nerdsoup50 and use code nerdsoup50 to get 50% off. That's code nerdsoup50 at factormeals.com/nerdsoup50 to get 50% off. Half off the meal, but you still get the full meal, because that's how we hook you up over here at Nerd Soup. I wonder if they have soup on the menu. All right, let's move on to the last story here. We got our first look at Miyazaki's The Boy and the Heron. So for a long time, they weren't releasing any promotional material, but the movie has come out in Japan. That is the primary audience. So now they're letting us get a more of a look at what this film is going to be, or at least what this film is going to look like. And in traditional Miyazaki fashion, you've got birds flying. He loves aviation, loves nature, combining them for his last movie. You've got the classic Studio Ghibli hug. There's nothing like a Studio Ghibli hug when one character comes rushing in from out of the frame, and the animation always looks so pretty. And yeah, you've got one look at one of the herons. It looks kind of mean. Looks a little different from the other ones.
Scary.
And then a young boy and an older man walking towards a floating rock. The first reply I saw for these images was, wow, he still got it. And that was my thought too. I was like, this looks pretty. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I think it's... When's the wide release?
September 7th. Oh, the wide release. No date yet. If I had to guess, I'm going to say November, December-ish.
Wait, why does he have human teeth?
Yeah, it's goofy, right? These are the questions. You got to go see the movie to find out.
No, it looks beautiful. I mean, all of his movies usually do, so that's not really a surprise. Is there anything about like the plot or anything? I'm sure because it's already like released, but
yeah, there's a very general plot. Mostly talks about the themes of the movie: coming of age, love, loss.
I'm sure you could the Wikipedia probably has everything on it, but obviously we don't want to be spoiled. But we talked about like the lack of marketing for this movie, so I was kind of surprised when we saw like the stills.
Yeah, I was surprised too. Yeah, holy shit, they do have the whole plot on Wikipedia.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know how some of these people do it or retain the information this well. A movie will just drop and the whole plot would be on Wikipedia. Even for like Oppenheimer right now, you could probably find it. Obviously, it's been out for a little while, but the detail it goes into, I can't watch a movie and then outline it the way they do on Wikipedia just by seeing it a couple times.
Yeah, you'd have to take notes. I'm sure that's what some of them are doing, just jotting down key plot points.
You think there's like there probably is like someone who prides themselves on like being the best at Wikipedia, but is just a nameless hero that doesn't want any credit.
Pretty sure one of those guys, like his identity went public. Like this guy's added like this many hours worth of information to Wikipedia over the course of a set amount of time.
That's very honorable.
It is, yeah. He'll never be thanked for the work he did until he went public.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, I want like a movie to be made by someone who we never knew about. But then the unfortunate thing is like they'll die before they ever know that they're appreciated.
Vincent van Gogh?
Yeah.
That's sad. What sucks about Vincent is that his art buddies liked his stuff, and he was like, what does that matter?
Yeah, He's your favorite artist's favorite artist.
All right, well, that is our last story. So if you want to see those images, I mean, just Google them because you'll be able to find them. But yeah, they look cool. Hopefully the movie's good. All the critics are saying it's great. So I've got high expectations.
Sucker. I don't trust critics. I'm a fan score guy now.
So you're The Rock and I'm Bautista.
Speaking of which, Zachary Levi, huh? He's kind of going crazy.
Yeah. I
The
mean,
thing is, like, I kind of like what he was saying. Like, it was just about, like, the studios just stop making garbage, which is, like, we talk about that a lot. But he's like, we have to actively not choose the garbage. And, like, well, you were in, like, the Shazam movies.
well, it's like there's no easy fix. It's not about, fixing Hollywood, but it's about improving certain things. And it's just like the people who get work. I always say Patty Jenkins, when she directed Charlize Theron to an Oscar and she didn't make a movie for almost 20 more years, why wasn't she given more chances? I'm not saying that in 20 years she couldn't make 4 or 5 movies. Not all of them would have been great or maybe up to that level. But you don't think that gives you a better chance of making better movies by giving her more work? It's the people who Guillermo del Toro is constantly talking about. I can't get funding for this. I can't get funding for that. I can't get funding for this. How many budgets do we see blown on bullshit? You're always taking a chance when you make a piece of art. It's not a very guarantee that it's going to be good, but you're not going to take more of a chance with someone like Guillermo del Toro instead of fuckface McGee, who's going to give us the same bullshit garbage. They pride themselves on hiring these studio men. So that's the issue. And with Zachary Levi's comments, it's actors need to stop picking the garbage. Well, actors also need to live.
Yeah, no, putting it on the actors for making the decisions are, that's not necessarily fair, because sometimes you got to work with what you can get. And especially, like, coming from, I think, last week when he was at that, I don't even know what it was, but he was kind of having a little fun with the whole strike situation. And we've seen a couple actors kind of get called out for their opinions on it. With Stephen Amell as well.
And he was on the picket lines, so.
Well, yeah, that's the biggest, like, ooh, I fucked up. Let me try to.
Well, you're just gonna piss people off who are your fans, because speaking against it or speaking for it at this point, it doesn't matter to me, because they're striking. It's happening. They've put words into actions. So whether you're against it or for it at this point doesn't matter. It comes down to when are the studios going to budge, or who's going to budge first. What really matters at this point is the people who are putting their money where their mouths are, who are donating to the unions, who are donating to these actors and these other production members who are going to be out of work. That matters more. So when some dipshit in Hollywood wants to put their foot in their mouth, I don't think it's that big of a deal. They just come off as, if anything, entitled. Like, oh, I can't promote my movie, or I can't work anymore. It's like, yo, that's you knew this was coming. And also, like, I hope you've been saving some of that Arrow money, Stephen Amell, because you're not getting much work after that. No offense. And same thing with you, Zachary Levi.
What else has he been in? I know he was a New Girl for like 2 episodes. He was
Stephen Amell?
Yeah, he was a love interest for Cece, and Schmidt was really jealous.
He was also in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the sequel, the live-action sequel. He was the dude on the rollerblades. I'm not familiar with turtle lore, but he's supposed to be a big character. I love the Ninja Turtles after watching that new one. They're so adorable.
Just as like a concept?
Oh, yeah, as a concept. Like, because I was teenaged mutant ninja. It's a lot to process. But that movie was really well done.
What happens when they get older?
I felt like they were always older and they were just being called teenaged because they were just immature. But I guess, no, that makes sense. They're teenagers.
Yeah, maybe they're like how do turtle years work?
That is actually a good point, because they live really long? Or tortoises?
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference between the turtle and the tortoise, right?
Remember that story of that turtle who like was just fucking?
I don't remember the fucking turtle.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a turtle, like he like saved his species because he was just banging his whole life. Shout out to him. Where's that movie?
I was about to say, maybe I believe in reincarnation.
You would want to come back to that?
I would want to come back as the fucking turtle, yeah.
Yeah, but then you're just fucking turtles. Though.
Well, if I'm a turtle, that's awesome.
Yeah. You gotta look at through a turtle's eyes.
Yeah, you gotta see it through the turtle's eyes.
The shell. How does that work?
All right, let's move on to fan questions.
That's for the fan to decide.
Yay! People, you call up to the show, you better be ready.
That's what you're supposed to do. Sitting there arguing and trying to spell your name and all of this other stuff. It's not your show. It's my show. I'm giving you the opportunity to speak your mind. Don't call up here unless you got something to say.
We'll keep that for another pod. We'll figure out what they're doing in there.
Are they bored with it? Or do they find, like, is it like a Kermit?
It grows as you grow. A little baby shell. And inside, it's like a little apartment. You got a lazy chair,
bigger.
you got your TV.
It's like bigger when you're inside of it.
Yeah, no, it's so much. You get to walk around, you have a couple of floors. I always love that when you go into a little place and then it's like a normal place. Fun little trope.
Yeah, I was watching Harry Potter. I was on TV, Deathly Hallows 1, and they had like a little tent, and they walked in. It was a big tent. Ron was also a giant, whiny baby in that movie. Not all of them, really.
Well, that's when Crumb was trying to take his girl. Come on.
No. It was when he thought Harry was trying to take his girl, and he just ran away.
Oh, right. Well, wasn't he wearing the Horcrux?
Yeah, but like...
He was being poisoned.
Don't put it on.
Sam would have been able to handle that shit. He'd be like, give me 2 more Horcruxes.
Sam would have crumbled.
Frodo. Yeah, Frodo would have been able.
Yeah, Frodo would have, He would have carried all of them. Like Floyd Mayweather or one of those boxers, and they have like 20 belts walk into the ring.
All right, this question here from Young_Jonesy. What are your guys' thoughts on Beau is Afraid? I personally really loved it. Did you get a chance to watch Beau is Afraid yet, Aaron?
I haven't yet, which is a shame because I do really like Ari Aster, but I couldn't catch the theatrical run. And then it's just so hard for me to pick a 3.5. How long is it? 3 hour plus movie?
I think it's 3 hours, maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit shorter. I'm not sure.
Like, I feel like I would have to, like, I can, but when I'm sitting home trying to find something to watch, it's usually a little bit later at night. Then I have to be in the right zone. It would have to be like a Saturday afternoon.
I don't know why, but the idea of watching a 3-hour movie just made me so hungry. Yeah, it's slightly under 3 hours. It was a huge bomb. I mean, I think I gave it 3.5 stars, so it's not one of my favorites of the year, but I thought it was really good. It was fun. It was I never want to say a movie was too long, but it definitely does feel a bit repetitive by the time you get to the end. But Joaquin Phoenix was incredible, as he always is. I always say his best performance is the last performance he gives you, because that guy's always trying something new. And there's obviously a lot of shades to the character. You know, it's taking place over the course of, well, I guess he's not the kid, but he is an old man at one point. You know who was really good in that too? Nathan Lane. His character was really fucking funny, dude.
Nathan Lane's awesome.
Yeah, he is really funny. I love Nathan Lane.
Good in Modern Family, too. Yeah, you're not a big Mophie guy, are you?
I'm not a big Mophie guy. I mean, I like Dumphy. I don't know about Mophie. But I've enjoyed every episode I've seen. I like Sam.
Sam?
Isn't his name Sam? Oh no, what? Cam. That's his name, Cam.
Yeah, I kind of blanked there too for a second. Maybe I'm not a big Mophie guy, or as big as a Mophie guy I thought.
Yeah, so Beau is Afraid. It's not going to get any awards love whatsoever. But Ari Aster, there was a new report that he and Joaquin Phoenix are scouting locations for their next film, which is going to be a comedy western with an ensemble cast. Sounds awesome. I think that's a really natural place for him to go. You know, you've really maximized your weirdness with Beau is Afraid. And now it's like, okay, let me scale this back a bit while also going bigger, because he hasn't worked with an ensemble. I mean, Midsommar had a decent-sized cast, but I wouldn't necessarily call that an ensemble. So I'd like to see how he can deal with, you know, maybe 10, 15 actors, some big stars in there. And, you know, you have Joaquin Phoenix as your lead. What more could you ask for? This question here from Mitch McCluck. Do you think you guys could smoke more than Mary and Pip?
What do we ever really like get to the bottom of like what they're smoking and what it's more akin to?
So I've read that it's not weed.
Okay, that's what I figured.
And that
I thought it was just like pipe tobacco.
Although they kind of in the movies, I like to believe in the movies it is weed because of certain lines. Like when Saruman says to Gandalf that the Hobbit's leaf is dulling your mind. I mean, come on. I mean, I guess tobacco could do that in a way, but no, it's fucking weed in the movies.
I think we could, I think we'd be a good team. If it makes you high, though, then if it's the weed effects might slow me down a little bit. But if it's just that, good old fashioned
skunk.
Skunk. Yeah, if it's give me some if it's mids.
Reggie Bush.
Or just like Marlboro Reds.
Oh yeah, like if it's just pure smoke, how much smoke can you handle Well, we may be a good tag team for that, unfortunately. I guess we'll never know. This question here from Matt_Sampson. Do you guys think House of the Dragon was snubbed for Emmy nominations? Yeah, I think it was snubbed.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it won the Golden Globe, right?
Yeah, it did. What the fuck?
For a drama series. I mean, series-wise, when maybe not as much, but when you look at some of the acting categories, I think that's where you got to look at the snubs.
Yeah, Patty Considine, George R. R. Martin made this point on his blog that these other actors are going to come back for future seasons. They may have a chance to be nominated. He won't, because that's it. His character is done. Spoilers. That was really upsetting. And I think sometimes it happens every year, dude. People get lost in the shuffle, and you can call it a snub, or it can simply be there's just not enough spots. I don't watch enough TV to definitively say that's the best performance on television. He should have been nominated with whatever category that would be. But
okay,
I feel like
it got nominated for drama series, cinematography.
Costumes. For the Emmys?
Yeah. Okay.
That's not bad, and I think it's going to have a chance to win Best Drama Series. I mean, the show was so popular, and it was critically acclaimed. So, but yeah, it was surprising to see that. At the very least, I thought Patty Considine would get nominated, and I think that even what's her face had a shot. Olivia Cook.
I think for the Golden Globes, it was Best Television Series, and the only acting nomination was for Emma Darcy. So
Emma Darcy's another one that I thought could have gotten a nomination, and Millie Alcock. I hope that she finds herself in another show that's very successful or movie or something, because it feels like she's got so much star potential that Hollywood's ready to waste. But, it's still only been a year or so we'll see where she ends up. This question here from Lone Soldier. Just wanted to hear if you guys are watching the new Jujutsu Kaisen. New season is great so far. I haven't started it. You have, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I've heard great things about it. I heard that this upcoming arc, you hear this all the time from manga readers, so you have to take it with a grain of salt. It's always the next arc for them. Oh, this next arc, though. It's like, okay, we'll see.
No, I've been watching Zom 100 still. That's like 5 episodes in. I watched like 2, I don't even know anymore. A couple episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you had finished Jujutsu or not.
No, it's been so long where I would probably have to restart it, and that scares me.
This question here from Tyler_Rams9. Out of all the upcoming films left for this year, which do you think will be the best? That's so easy for me. Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah, it's hard to go against Scorsese, right?
Especially with the run he's on. It's like every new movie just keeps getting bigger and better. Wolf of Wall Street, Silence, Irishman, now Killers. 3.5 hours, man. I'm just about to finish the book that it's based on, and it's just, you can see how he's going to kill it. That's become my favorite thing, is reading a historical book that's being adapted by one of my favorite filmmakers and visualizing how they're going to do it.
Read the book after.
No, it's so much better to read the book first.
But I'd rather,
All right, well, try the killers.
Read first.
Yeah, you got to know who the killers are.
Yeah, I want to know that. Spoil the whole thing.
You're like Teddy being mad about us telling him that Lincoln got assassinated. This question here from Leslie McWaters. Pretty good question. Any shows or movies off your watch list you'll be getting to if the strikes keep going? I'm more prone to rewatch stuff that I've already seen if these strikes really start like damaging the amount of shit that we can talk about.
Yeah, I guess you got to go back to like what were we doing during COVID? What were we watching when nothing else new was coming out?
Once again, yeah, just a lot of old stuff, some stuff I've seen, some stuff I haven't seen. James Bond. I pretty much rewatched every James Bond movie during COVID. That was my first big binge. And then I always associate early COVID with James Bond, Animal Crossing, and Ozark.
Yeah, what did I think I rewatched Community and then To Go Margaritas. That was my COVID experience.
Dude, COVID was just such a good excuse to just get fucked up all the time.
I would literally order like food, whether it be like just a shit ton of like Domino's, grab some beer, and just play video games all day. It was so fucking fun.
Yeah, it's hard to say that it was fun, but it goddamn was fun.
Oh yeah, of course. Taking away everything else, like in my own little vacuum.
Yeah, and oh god, what a beautiful vacuum it was.
Like we were really into Westworld season 3 because it was just the only thing that was out.
Yeah, I remember that.
Making theory videos on that bad boy.
This question here from Yo, it's Flo. Thoughts on Winning Time, and have y'all seen Past Lives? Love y'all. Winning Time didn't finish season 1, although I hear it's very funny and worth the watch.
I keep seeing previews for that on HBO Max or
Yeah.
just Max, and I'm like, I would like this because it's just ball, you know.
Yeah, I was scrolling X the other day and I saw a Max ad and they
Fuck
had
yeah.
a preview for Winning Time. No, it does look really fun. I love the idea that Will Ferrell and Adam McKay are no longer friends because he didn't cast Will Ferrell as Jerry Buss. Have you
I'm
heard
more
about this?
upset. I wish Bo Burnham was cast as Larry Bird.
That would have been a good casting. For the
That's what they
hype,
were
too.
supposed to do. Yeah.
The guy they got for Bird looks like Bird, though. So the actor they got for Magic is perfect. He's like more
Yeah.
Magic than Magic is. Past Lives, third best movie of the year for me so far. So my top three are John Wick 4, Oppenheimer, and Past Lives. Loved it. Definitely recommend it if anybody out there hasn't seen it, if it's playing by you.
Yeah, probably top 5 for me. I might move that to a 5-star. I want to rewatch it again before that though, but it is
It's a gorgeous movie, man. Go with the box of tissues out there if you haven't seen it.
yeah, it's a thing. Like
I'll never
I don't
watch
like
it
to
again.
rewatch sad movies.
No, I'll never
but,
watch that again. Fuck that. And I hate
but-
that goddamn opening scene of that movie because I knew exactly where it was going to fit in the story.
But yeah, I think that's gonna end up in my top 5. It's some predictions got it like getting a nomination or multiple nominations, so that's good to see.
Yeah, I definitely think it will be. I think it's a sleeper for Best Picture, man. I really do. It's Oppenheimer's award to lose. I'm not confident with Oppenheimer, but if any movie's going to dethrone it, I think Past Lives has a chance.
That'd be something. Imagine X.
Oh
if
yeah,
that happens,
it's gonna. Yeah, X will be down.
because like
It'll be upside down X.
because not only is it like against a Nolan movie, but it'll be against a Scorsese movie, potentially a Fincher movie. So, and then this movie that no one's seen is gonna win.
Right, and Killers of the Flower Moon, I think will be nominated, but they just don't give that man Best Picture.
I'm rooting for it now. Fuck Nolan.
We had a good question. Now I can't really find. Oh, basketball question. Do you guys think Wembanyama will live up to the hype?
I am so like split on whether he's just going to be a complete freak and somebody we've never seen before, or like he's just too fragile or injury prone. Like somebody who like when he's on the floor, maybe he's like pretty incredible, but that's just going to be an issue. But then you look at a guy like Kevin Durant, like similar build, obviously doesn't have that height, but I don't know if he's going to be able to kind of have it all together the way KD does, because the control Kevin has over his body with a person with that type of build, we haven't really seen that before, have we?
No.
The kind of long, lanky, but still be as strong, agile, and fast as he is.
He does seem like, when I look at Chet Holmgren, I'm like, I don't know how much more you can put on that body. Like, you just look so naturally skinny, dude. But even Durant, like, he came in super, super skinny, and obviously he wasn't a big man, so he didn't have to bang as much as Wembanyama's going to have to. But his grown man body came in. AD was super skinny coming in, not as skinny as Wemby. And the grown man body eventually came in. I think it will be similar with him. It's more so just like the knees and the feet. Like, is that going to hold up, man? Because when you're that big, it's a guarantee that you're going to get injured. At one
if he grows into it, yeah, but if he grows into it, like maybe like a Giannis, maybe not to that extent, because Giannis is just fucking massive. But
yeah, Giannis is a good example, but I don't think to that extent. But
he has the potential to be like what we see. It's apples and oranges, but like how Otani is kind of like something we've never seen before.
Oh yeah,
like he has the potential to be like that. But I do think maybe if he's not what we think he is, like his floor, let's say he stays healthy and healthy-ish and could be a contributor. If he racks up 2 to 3 blocks a game, gets you close to 10 boards, puts up like mid-teens, like obviously it's not what we expected, but in the grand scheme of things, that's a fucking baller who can play in this league and is a great part of any team.
Yeah, I just believe he's got too much going for him, that if he is going to be relatively healthy, he'll be an all-time great. I don't know how great he'll be, but at this point he's become overhyped, and I'm not trying to sound like a hater, but 84 on 2K, that's just disrespectful, dude. No rookie has ever been above an 80 for 2K. You haven't seen him play one NBA game. It's not even, I'm not saying he won't be an 84. Maybe he's even better. But, like, come on, yo. Some of it's setting him up to fail a little bit, but he seems like a good dude who's wise beyond his years, so.
But 2K ratings are always out of whack. Like, really good players in a league will get, like, mid-80s sometimes. And some people who are like haven't been good since like 2019 will still have that like 88 rating just because of who they are.
Yeah, no, it's weird. Like Jimmy
NHL is
Butler
the
getting
worst at that.
oh yeah.
NHL, they haven't changed their ratings, I don't think, in like 5 years. Like if you were an 87 3 years ago, you're still an 87 now.
Well, it's like Ronaldo in FIFA. Like he's not a 90 anymore, but because he's Ronaldo and he's still playing, they just like give him a 90.
Well, that's why I like MLB The Show. Like their regular ratings are pretty accurate because they kind of they take into account like the past and like what you usually are. So like if you're going off for 1 year, it won't like weigh so heavily, but it will kind of even out because baseball is like that where you can have a great year 1 year and kind of go back to what you usually are. They'll just juice random cards for no reason, and it's really fun because they'll have like a throwback card or like a second half card or something like that where you could play with like Anthony Rizzo, even though he sucks now, but you get that old Anthony Rizzo, like you're fucking shit up.
That's one thing I do like about 2K is that they'll update the ratings throughout the season. So if you're playing with online rosters, it's going to reflect that. If Brunson starts out the season lights out, he's going to get a little boost. But yeah, some of the ratings that it's just so weird, man. Like Jimmy Butler's not a goddamn 95. He was fantastic against the Milwaukee Bucks, and for the rest of the playoffs, he was really good. That's not 95. Jesus Christ.
I think even with LeBron too, like him, what is he, like a 98, 97 still?
96.
Okay, that's...
And that's the thing. LeBron, he wasn't as good in the playoffs as he was in the regular season, but he still had a great regular season by any standards. It's not even a down, like people like to say, oh, it's a down year for LeBron, but it really wasn't. It's kind of standard, just 29, 9, and 7.
Standard.
Well, I can't wait for him to retire so that people can start appreciating him. This question here from Mob Chef. Ask Aaron if he feels like a kind goblin since getting his hair bleached. It's a part 1.
It's a kind goblin.
Part 2 is mind goblin these nuts. Yeah, he set you up there.
That's a good one. Yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling generous.
Oh my God. All right, Mob Chef, you just sliding his DMs. All right, final question here. Good one from Foodie Feats NYC. Top 5 movies of 2023 so far.
Top 5 movies. Letterboxd should rank it for you. I shouldn't have to make my own little thing. I'm going to write a letter. Do they rank it for you?
You can filter the movies you've watched by year and rating.
How do I do that?
You go to your films, then you go to the filter, top right, sort by highest rating, year, 2023.
Yeah, but highest rating, but then can I do 2 filters at once?
Yeah, you can.
No.
Yeah, you do sort by and then you go back and then year. Sort by and year is a different page. Well, I mean, you just log them and then you add them to the list when you log them. That's what I do. So my top 5 right now, John Wick 4, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Across the Spider-Verse, and Showing Up.
Mm-hmm.
Showing Up is now available to rent on Amazon for only a few dollars. So if anybody's interested, Kelly Reichardt's latest, I thought it was really good.
Giving out ads now?
For my girl Kelly? Yeah, hell yeah.
Or Amazon.
Oh shit.
So yeah, I have Past Lives 4.5, maybe 5, like I said before. John Wick's definitely up there. That's 2. Across the Spider-Verse 4.5, 3. Oppenheimer 5. Asteroid City. I think so far.
Not bad. Asteroid City is my number 6.
Then just yeah, I think that's my 5. I'm sticking to it.
Well, I might as well just go to 10 because I have it here. Asteroid City 6, Skinamarink 7, Suzume 8.
That was this year?
Yeah, it was. We got Teddy out for Skinamarink.
What did I give that?
Beef at number 9. Not technically a movie, but I have it ranked because it's on Letterboxd. And the first Slam Dunk, number 10. And Knock at the Cabin 11 if you don't want to include Beef.
Blackberry would probably make my top 10.
Fun movie, man.
Did you
I
see
almost
Nimona?
rewatched that the other day. What'd you say?
Did you see Nimona?
I did.
I thought that was pretty good. I liked it more than Mario.
It was definitely better than Mario, yeah. I rewatched Mario, man, and I was like, God, I feel bad about saying this, but this is not my Mario. It was funny when DK came out to the DK rap. Shit kind of goes hard.
1001 I really like too. I don't know if that came out yet.
I think that's out in theaters.
Okay.
Select theaters, yeah.
Yeah, I really like that. I have that at 4 stars. That was a good movie.
Yeah, I saw that was playing at the IFC Center. I wanted to check it out. It's been on my watch list since you logged it.
I really enjoyed that one. There was another one from Sundance I really liked. What was it? Yeah, it's so weird with those movies because, like, you just never know when they're going to come out. And a lot of them you don't even realize they're out. Like Past Lives, I kind of, because people were talking about it, but like for some of them, you just don't even know if they're even ever going to come out. Like I feel like Pod Generation, that's out now, right?
No, it's not. Actually, it may be out now. Yeah, it may have just came out this past weekend. No, for a lot of these movies, dude, like I find myself discovering movies all the time that came out in years where we were active doing this and they just didn't get a lot of love. So you really have to mine for it. It's similar to music. If you don't do that research on your own, I mean, what's good is to follow like people like Matt Negley. I think that's why he's done such a good job building his base, because people are going to him to find out every fucking movie that comes out. There are people that you could follow that do a really good job of covering all these films. But it's also a lot to keep track of, man. You know, there are 600, 700 movies that come out every year. It's not a guarantee that you're going to like something that is critically acclaimed, but a bit smaller, more independent. So that's why sometimes I like to, you know, spotlight some of these movies that maybe people won't necessarily hear about. Like Showing Up is a movie that's probably didn't do great at the box office, probably won't get a lot of awards love, but it's going to be one of my favorite of the year. And it's got a great Michelle Williams performance and a Hong Chow.
Yeah, you know what? Like, especially with streaming now, a lot of these movies might like get picked up, but if the streaming service doesn't really promote it on whether it be online or even on their own platform, sometimes they just get buried.
Yeah, I'll never understand the lack of promotion for something like Cha Cha Real Smooth, where they paid so much. I mean, shout out to Cooper Raiff, he got the bag, but I'm sure he was a little pissed. Like, why wasn't this like on every Apple device or...
You think Cooper Raiff was going to get the Bono treatment?
Yeah.
Every iPhone comes with Cha Cha Real Smooth on it.
Well, they're saying, ESPN's going to be bought out by Apple. You can do a little collaboration with the NBA, do the Cha Cha Real Smooth at halftime. I don't know. I'm not a marketing guru. But still, it's like, what the fuck? What was the point of spending 20... That's the other thing, is that these two... Apple's got the money. But the way they spend money on shit is just so reckless. They're so stupid.
Yeah, I feel like hopefully this will get all, maybe they'll reevaluate after these strikes and everything, but you gotta, knowing history and how companies work, if they're gonna have to shell out all these residuals, it's just they're gonna make sure it affects them even worse in other ways, or make them even more reliant on their blockbusters, franchises and whatnot.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm gonna end it there because I'm starving.
What are you going to eat?
Probably get an acai bowl.
I'm big on those. They've been hiding from me for years. No one put me onto them.
Oh, dude, an acai bowl with a Belgian waffle. No better combination.
You get the waffle? I haven't gotten the waffle.
The waffle
yet.
Is so nice.
I had one yesterday, actually, before softball. It's just so refreshing, especially on a hot day.
Oh, yeah, it's
a
so
cold
refreshing.
Acai bowl. I was a little upset, though. The peanut butter they gave me, sometimes it's like nice and smooth. This one was just like a fucking ball of peanut butter.
Teddy would have scarfed that up.
Oh man, the kid will just eat a jar of peanut butter and a glass of milk for dinner.
Yeah, but he won't eat sushi. Palate of a child. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. For Aaron the Nerd Suit Monkey, I am Bo Oliver signing off. Thank you for listening, for supporting, for subscribing, and hey, we've got stuff on our Patreon too. So if you're feeling generous, you can listen to some of our podcasts for just $1. So get it while it's only $1, because that price will go up eventually. But now it's just $1. So there you go. All right, Aaron, thanks for joining me on this new remote setup that we've got going here. Hopefully the audio recorded. If not, I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be a bummer.
No, I'd just call the whole thing off.
Podcast, life.
Yeah.
What are we talking?
No, I just may make a decision like I'll rent No Hard Feelings for $20, like real reckless. I don't even want to wait until it's $6.
Yeah, I waited for Renfield to drop down. That was
terrible.
That was a wise decision.
Oh, God. Why was Aquafina moving like Prime John Wick?
Wow, that was probably our best review yet. Hey guys, Aaron the Nerd Suit Monkey here with a brief shameless plug before we end the video. Do you ever feel like you don't have an adequate amount of nerd soup in your life? Like you're going to bed hungry and yearning for the nonsensical yet entertaining nutrients our podcasts provide? Well, we've come up with the perfect solution. The Nerd Soup Fan Question Podcasts, exclusively available to our Patreon supporters. You can sign up now by visiting patreon.com/nerdsoup, and for the price of only $1 per month, you'll receive exclusive access to our weekly podcast, where we answer your questions that don't make it to the main show. And while you're there, you can check out the other rewards we offer to our patrons, like stickers stickers, mugs, t-shirts, behind-the-scenes footage, and appearing in the credits at the end of our videos. And that's exactly what we're gonna do right now. Roll the names of the nerds who make Nerd Soup possible. The reason why the crypto crash didn't send our lives spiraling down a black hole of no return. Alright, I'll stop talking so you can listen to this jazzy-ass music while checking if Bo spelt your name wrong in the credits.